orange accents and orange contrast stitching is only available on the cloth. Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer Cars. So I did a thing recently. It's been a couple of weeks since I did it, but I haven't shown you yet. Here it is. I bought a truck. A 2022 Nissan Frontier PRO-4X. Let me tell you about it. So yeah, this is Nissan's newest 4x4 off-road mid-size truck. You can get it in various configurations. This one is the fully off-road spec, the PRO-4X, which gives you the rear locker, as well as some additional features that you don't get on some of the lower end models. This truck is in Boulder Gray Pearl, and I have had it, like I said, for 3 weeks. I've put on a couple of accessories. I already have 1,600 kilometers on it. I've had it on a couple of trips. It does have 17-inch wheels with Hankook Dynapro AT2 tires, and these are 3-peak rated, so I can run them all winter long, and I do intend to do that. So these are a little bit less aggressive than my BF Goodrich KO2s that were on the Honda Pilot. This is my very first truck I've ever owned. I've never owned a truck before, so it's my first one, and I'm learning how to do truck things. So I've recently gone and bought the tonneau cover. I've never had a bed before. This is a short box, 5-foot bed, and this is the crew cab configuration. In Canada, you can actually get these in the half door with a longer box, but I've not seen any in the wild yet. And the PRO-4X gives you some exclusive features. You do get the full LED lighting package. You get remote start. And as you can see here, when the LEDs come on, you get a running light on the top and the bottom. This is just the styling accent, where I guess it's a functional air curtain or not, or it's just for style. We don't really know. The fog lights are LED. You get 3 little pips of amber in here, and then when the turn signals are on, they flash here. Since it's the PRO-4X, you get the gloss black with the lava red accent. The normal cars only get white accent, as well as the mustache area is painted on some of the other trims. On the PRO-4X, it's all the matte black. One of the other big things that you're getting with the PRO-4X is all of the skid plates. So it has steel and aluminum skid plates along the front, along the bottom, along all the protective bits, along the gas tank and the oil pan, all of the parts that you don't want punctured. It does have an independent front suspension on the front, and it has a rear leaf spring. It has Bilstein custom on the PRO-4X. It has specially tuned Bilstein variable rate dampers. And on the rear, here we can see that it is a straight axle and a leaf spring system. Now, while this PRO-4X has Bilstein variable rate shocks or specially tuned Bilstein dampers for doing off-road, it has a good ride, except for on broken up pavement. It is surprisingly harsh. You can hear the voice trembling. It's pretty rough on broken pavement like this. It's the one downside where you feel like it's a truck the most. Other than this, it rides beautiful. This is the worst type of road you can be on for this vehicle. Other than that, it's very good. And here's some of the skid plates. This is a full truck, body on frame. This is not one of the new crossover trucks. This is a traditional truck, body on frame. So, full skid plates and a solid rear axle. The rear axle is apparently a Dana 44 equivalent. And I'm excited to learn what living with a truck is like with the rear locker and having some fun doing some off-road things. There's the Bilstein special variable rate dampers. Now this is how you get these trucks in Canada. We even get the mud flaps, where I believe in the USA you have to option all of this stuff on top. I did buy the mats. Rubber mats is an upgrade accessory. The tonneau cover I bought separately, and the remote tailgate. This is a radar sensor for radar assisted cruise control and lane distance monitoring. You get a front camera, 360 cameras actually. There's a camera in each mirror, and there's a camera in the tailgate. So you get a top-down 360 view whenever you back up Also, there's a hard button camera control. This is a new motor and transmission package. It is a 3.8 liter V6 with 310 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. Also, another nice thing that you know you bought a special vehicle is when the hoods are on dampers. At least that's been my experience. If they're putting the time in to do some stylistic things and some convenience things like putting gas struts in your hood, you know, some time and thought put into it. It's a minor thing. Anyway, this is the new motor, 3.8 liter V6. It is a direct injected only, so it does not have multi-port injection. It doesn't have any kind of washing of the cylinders down with fuel, so we'll see carbon issues in later life. I'm not sure. Regular Renault Nissan battery. This is some of the fuse boxes. ECU module. I am a little bit concerned that some of the wiring is a little bit exposed. It doesn't really have a whole lot of wiring loom, but overall a fairly clean engine bay, airbox, fairly large area between the heater core and the front grille. Now the hood only raises up that far. Not a really big opening, but I would imagine there will be some aftermarket support for this extended hood struts. That's the engine on the PRO-4X. Also on all models of the new 22 Frontier, there is one engine choice, and that is it, the 3.8 liter. This is the interior of the PRO-4X, and I chose to go with the cloth. And I went with the cloth because orange accents and orange contrast stitching is only available on the cloth for some reason. Bit of an oddity. If you upscale to the leather, you lose that. You end up getting black stitching and gloss black trim bits. A pretty good interior storage area where you get a wireless charger, 2 cup holders, a nice traditional shifter. You do get a 9-inch touchscreen. Vehicle data transmission is on, it said, so this vehicle does have telemetry that sends back to Nissan or you need to do anything. There's a lot of stuff you can do in the infotainment. I will talk about that in a future video of just going through the infotainment, but it has satellite radio, Apple CarPlay, AM/FM radio, has GPS maps, has hard menus. Like I said, it has a hard camera button. Camera's on. This is the 360 camera that I was mentioning. So you have a full top-down view, as well as this is the front view. If you hit the camera button again, now you get a side tire view. It has a water droplet on right now, so you can't see it, but this is still the front. If I put the transmission in reverse, you get the reverse. The gauges are a mix of traditional and screens, so you get 2 nice analog gauges as well as a screen system, which again, I will go in a future video about that. Glove box is fairly large and well dampened, and the nice thing is in the doors, you actually have fairly big cup holder areas for bottles. Big 2-liter bottles fit in the doors, and nice storage area. Power windows, power locks, child windows control, and a mirror control. You only have one automatic up-down. All the vents are fairly manual. There are no special modes in this vehicle, but you do have a tow haul mode, as in there's no like sport, snow, rock, sand, all that stuff, but you have a tow haul mode. You have a 400-watt inverter. All right, I didn't think I'd be testing this out on day 2, but we had a big storm rip through here. And then it ripped the fascia off the house here. So that's the old wood underneath. This house was built in 1880. Starlink, I've got my internet set up. I'm currently powered by the truck. The new truck is powering the internet. Now I was trying to do it without the engine running. The engine is currently running right now. You can do it. You can run the inverter system on this truck, but it times out with the engine off. It's timing out after 5 to 8 minutes. I tried it with engine off, a solar panel plugged in to the front aux, so I can be inputting power while I'm taking out power, and it does work. It's just that the truck is so new that it has so many battery rundown protections that I don't know how to defeat yet. Because ideally I would love to be able to do what I'm doing right now, which is powering 150 to 400 watts without the engine running. And you can do it, but only for 5 minutes at a time. This is the 360 surround system, so this does have a full sensor suite where you have radar assisted cruise control, you have cameras, you have rear cross alert, you have front pedestrian warning, all the tech. A cargo lamp for the rear box, hill descent control, and these are the PRO-4X features. Your rear locker and hill descent control, traction control off. This is where you reset your trip computers. Turn this on for a minute. Straighten the steering wheel. The steering wheel, I believe they pulled it out of a Titan, but it is a leather wrap steering wheel with a bunch of controls on it, and we'll go through that in a future date as well, how all you control everything with the infotainment. The center bin is a large big cubby, but there's no dividers in it, so I added some. It's just one big box. You do have a 12-volt DC socket there, so I added some bins for some organization. And back here you have a USB-A, a USB-C, and a normal plug socket, as well as here you have heated seats, high and low, a heated steering wheel, park sensors, and your climate control system. The other thing that I really like about this vehicle is that it's all hard buttons. So as I showed for the infotainment here, you have a normal volume, tune control, all hard buttons, and climate control is also all hard buttons. So you have dual zone climate control, you can choose to run it in auto or not auto, you have manual fan control, modes, AC, and your circulation on or off, and a DC power plug. That's the front seats. Let me show you the back seats. Back seats are full of stuff, but the nice thing about the new Frontier is that the rear seats fold up. If you are cross-shopping this with the Tacoma rear seats flip forward. So you do get a little bit less room on a Tacoma rear seat, and you do get these bins. I'm sorry, I have a bunch of stuff in here. We are going on an off-roading adventure right now, so always be safe, have tow straps, have your tow recovery equipment with you. Anyway, you can see that there's a lot of room in the back seat, and the rear seats also get the accent stitching, as well as actually pretty decent seat back with stitching. And I do have a dog cover on here because we've recently adopted a puppy. Rear doors also get a large bottle holder. The rear windows are tinted, and I definitely want to tint the front window. Now we're onto the box. The box is a 5-foot box, as I said, and one upgrade that I put on this truck when I ordered it is a remote tailgate. So this tailgate normally can only be locked by the key. But if you buy an upgrade, they put a remote locking tailgate, then you can actually lock and unlock the tailgate from the key. It does have a 7-pin trailer towing package, as well as the traditional 4-pin, a big tow hitch, and this vehicle can tow 6,200 pounds. All right, the box is interesting in that you do have a aluminum rail system, box lighting, LED box lighting, and a bed liner. And this is a steel box. The Tacoma is a composite plastic box. The Frontier box is pure metal, which is nice. And I've got a lot of stuff in here, and I'll show you more about the box later. The rear window is manual sliding, and the cargo lighting system does point lights down from the top down, as well as almost all of the lighting in this vehicle is LED, as mentioned from the front. The rear taillights are LED as well, but the only incandescent light that is here is those 2 cargo lights, but those can be upgraded later. All right, I think that's pretty much about it. So I bought a truck, and I'm pretty excited to have my first truck. It's going to give me a lot more unique videos I'm going to be able to do with truck things, learning how to live with the truck, as well as I bought the PRO-4X to take it off-roading. So we're about to go on an off-road trip right now. We're going to go take it on the trails that Throttle House uses. I came across our first rocky hill here, so I'm going to try some things I have not done yet. Hill descent controls on. We're locked, 4 low. I'm just gonna, foot is off, everything's off, all the pedals, and the truck is just gonna do the work for me. Wow, it's certainly low.
Nice.
And yeah, it's quiet. It's not
chattering.
It's not chattering like all the other systems I've heard. Apparently the Toyota's quite loud doing this. This is blissful.
You can't actually hear anything.
Wow.
Is that heat shield?
Yeah. So there's a bent there's a bent rear drum dust shield, rear disc. Speaking of drums, I think the Tacoma has rear drums. This has rear vented disc brakes. There's some technical things that this has that are better than a Tacoma, but let's try and get some of the rocks.
Just slow her down a hair.
And that should be a fun time. So, welcome to my new truck. I will try and get it cleaned up and make some additional videos later of detailing it, some of the accessories I bought for it, and things of that nature. That's my new truck. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new and here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.